Emily.
Hey, Amy.
How are you today?
I'm good.
So, welcome to Conversations, Cocktails, and Connections. I'm Amy Hester.
And I am Emily Reeves.
We're going to have a little powwow today. Just us.
We are. Every once in a while, guests might cancel on us, and that's all right because we like talking to each other. So,
and drinking.
We'll get it rescheduled, and we like drinking as well. So, yeah.
What are we going to have tonight?
All right. So, tonight, I'm going to make us a Seelbach. It's Seelbach.
Okay.
All right, so I'm really obsessed with this cocktail book that you got at Box Turtle because what it does is it takes like a key cocktail, right? We've talked about this before. And then it does like variations on that as you fold out. So the key cocktail in this instance is the mimosa, okay? Because, and so then everything from there is kind of like a variation of taking like a liquor, some sort of sparkling, and some sort of fruit-based something or other, and putting it together. So you remember we made the Boothby?
Yes.
Yeah. And I feel like the French 75 would kind of fall into this category. The Aperol Spritz falls into this category. Okay. So those are kind of the category. Those are the drinks that fall in this. So the Seelbach is bourbon, Cointreau, some bitters, Peychaud's bitters, and Angostura bitters, and then we're gonna have a little bit of sparkling on top of that, and a lemon.
Sounds good.
Garnish. So let me get the sparkling out of the refrigerator.
I wonder where the name came from. It sounds like a football player or a football position.
It does.
I do not watch football. Although, do you know, okay, so right now.
We're getting smart and doing small since we're just topping it because we've been like wasting whole bottles.
That is smart.
So I'm going to put this over here. And
I can assist in opening the bottle.
All right.
Okay, so I don't watch football. I don't know if you really watch football or not, but
no,
I mean,
not.
So every pandemic, football is different, and so with Arkansas in the stadium, they're putting those photos, like life-size photos of people. They're buying the and I am so mad that I did not think of this. Only because I wish that I had done one of my grandmother, who is about to be, I think, 94.
Oh, people are buying the...
Yeah, so you send the photo in, and I think it's $50 or maybe depending on wherever you put your...
Yeah, it costs more for like a better seat placement for your card.
But then I'm like, are you guaranteed that you'll be shown on film? Because for my grandmother, who is obsessed with the Razorbacks, my grandparents always went. They were road hogs, so they traveled in their motorhome to every game. And we went as kids and stuff, but she can't go anymore because it's a pandemic, and it's been a long time since she's been able to go. But I was like, it hit me today. I was like, why didn't I buy one with her photo and then maybe with my grandfather's?
Oh, that's such a great idea.
But I don't think it can anymore. Doesn't it make you mad when you think of ideas that
later?
Oh, but I love, again, bourbon.
I know.
I think since we've been making them, I'm even like really realizing my love of bourbon. And I told you it stems down to, as a child, I've told you this, right?
Yes. Yeah, like to like soothe you.
Yeah, so my great-grandmother would do this if we had a cough. It's basically a hot toddy. Ooh, when it gets cold, we should make hot toddies. I don't think I've ever really made a hot toddy before.
Yeah, we should definitely do that.
But I think it's similar with like honey and lemon and bourbon. Basically, they would just give us a spoonful. I mean, it was probably all honey, but with like a tiny bit to make you go to sleep. As an adult, you're like, okay, that was just to make the kid pass out.
Do you want to open the...
Oh, sure.
Sparkling?
I'm chatty Cathy.
Sorry, I'm focused on the...
This ought to be really fun.
Do you want me to do it?
See, where the little twist... Is it a twist top?
No, it's still a quart. Here, let me do it.
Can't see where it... Sure. So I wish that you guys could see Emily's dog.
Beatrice. I see what your problem was. Sorry, I see what your problem. But here, I found the fold.
There's pizza over here, and she is literally trying to get it, and she's like this tall, so it's like she's trying to get out of the house but onto the cabinet, and she's kind of growling at the pizza.
And I've given her some too.
Give me pizza. It smells good.
The pizza or the
lemon? Pizza always smells better than, I mean, at certain places, I mean, pizza always is good no matter what. But I feel like the instant smell of pizza, you're like, damn, that smells good. And then after you're done, you're like, damn, I ate too many calories and pieces.
So I'm just going to...
Yeah, just top it off. Looks pretty. I mean, I would have never put any of that together, ever.
I know, but like it's like the French 75 that we love so much. We would have never put any of that together either.
Yeah, when you said gin and champagne, when we made it, I was like, and that's been one of
our favorites.
That and the one that Amanda sent that day. That was super good. Cheers. It's good.
It is good. I don't like it as much as the other ones, but I still, I mean, I'm gonna drink it.
Yeah, it's good. I've never seen it on a menu anywhere.
No.
But maybe I just never thought about
what it was.
Yeah.
All
but
right.
it's good.
All right, well, let's clean up and visit.
Yeah. You need that.
I need a step stool.
Jesus. You're totally going to order a step stool.
I have step stools.
Okay.
I could probably just need to bring one in here.
So
yeah, the irony is, like, that's a more comfortable chair for me to sit in because it's easier for me to get in because of my height, and this one's probably more comfortable for you, but then to get our heights the same.
So Emily has, we now are both in director's chairs that was a purchase on Amazon, correct?
Yes.
And they're so cute, but the funny thing is that Emily's is an actual, like, bar height, and then mine is counter height to try to, but I'm also on a booster.
Yeah.
Because it ended up being a little...
I know, we need custom seating made for us.
Well, you know what?
We'll do that when we get our studio.
Matt Hester could take down, like, cut the legs a little bit.
Probably could.
I mean,
okay, so here's the thing. At our house, every time there's a problem, Matthew Dean goes, Matt Hester could probably come over and fix that for us real fast. I'm like, first of all, he's our friend and we're not going to ask him to come over and fix things.
Like,
and
what?
Second,
it might not be very fast.
I said, nothing Matt Hester does is fast. Not that I care.
No.
Because
It'll be done right.
Because it's always perfect. It's always perfect. But let's not use fast and Hester in the same sentence. And I love Matt Hester. Like, love him.
He's amazing.
So it is not a criticism.
No, I mean, he knows. I mean, but I love him because last week, he's been building the kitchen island in the house. And we're sitting upstairs and I'm watching TV and I'm just kind of comfortable. And he's being super quiet, which is not unusual when we're watching TV. But I look over and he's just looking in the kitchen. And then like 5 minutes later, he's still looking. And I swear to you, he literally sat there like this.
Staring or thinking about all the things.
He did not. I mean, he was focused on one thing. And it is insane because if it's not perfect, he will do that when it's built. And he will not be able to like concentrate on anything in the kitchen. He'll just be like, well, God, I should have done this, I should have done that.
Yeah, his craftsmanship is impeccable. There's no doubt about that. So, it's funny. But like right now, this thing is you can't, like, we'd have to like show it, but it's a little bit loose. And that was the last thing that we talked about. And Matthew's like, we need to ask Matt Hester about that.
Oh yeah, Matt can fix it. We'll just have him over. Have the boy. We need to have a boys episode where
I know we talked about doing that.
I know. I think that would be so fun, and we have to designate it just for the men in our life to come on, and we'll make sure Matt brings his tools. He'd be like Tim the Tool Man.
Oh my gosh.
I personally, and I will say this because Emily and I like classes. I've always wanted to take a power tools class without Matt knowing really, because he would be like, you're gonna cut your hand off. Oh my gosh, you're gonna cut your. And I would need all the safetyness help I could get, but it's like shop. I want to take shop.
Yeah,
I'm sure girls can't take shop.
Well, yeah, I mean, nobody. I think that probably exists. So when I was in architecture school, another thing I've did without actually finishing the degree of.
That's a long degree, though.
It's 5 years. It's 5 years.
But don't you have to do a lot after?
Yeah, and then there's a 3-year internship afterwards. So by the time you're done, it's 8 years before you can be licensed. So it's it's getting real close to doctorhood. Not really, but I think doctors are more like 12, but nonetheless. architecture school. So my first year of architecture school, we had to build things. Oh. And so they had like a full-on shop and like using table saw. Really? And oh yeah. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I mean,
what'd you make?
Well, one assignment was a birdhouse, okay. Like, because, you know, it was the first year of architecture school, so we were, like, kind of learning, like, spaces and all that kind of stuff. And then we had a group project where we had to make, like, a bus bench stop type situation. So, like a what do we call it?
Bus bench?
Like a bus stop, basically. You know how, like, bus stops have, like, a bench and, like, a canopy or whatever? Yeah.
So where they put their advertisements that behind you. Okay.
Yeah, so we had to design, like, as a group project.
Were you going to donate it?
You're going to test my memory now? I've
you know, I have the worst memory.
I'm sorry, I've had a lot of drinks since then.
Well, that's cool, though. But
I've changed my major a lot since then.
Hey, it does not mean that you're not done yet.
I have half an architecture degree, too. No, it's more like
she's gonna be a
2/5 an architecture degree.
Hold on. Attorney cadet.
We could add some more things in there too. Yeah. So anyway, my point was we ended up having to use that shop, and so I did learn a little bit. And I mean, I was 18, and like I did not know what was going on. I didn't know anybody. Like it was so crazy.
So when I first met my husband, I mean, I've always, when I was single, I mean, I wasn't scared to do anything on my own, especially with, like, I had a drill. It might have been pink. and I honestly would not have bought a pink drill, but I think my mom just thought that a single girl needed a drill set. And, they, you know, it's one of those sets they probably sell at Christmas. And so, and then I also had, you know, hammers and I had a toolbox.
Oh, yeah.
And now hanging paintings and pictures there, if you moved the picture over, there might be like five holes.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I was single for a really long time too, and I had all the tools.
I don't do that now though. Like Matt is, if I start something, he's like, you're not doing it right.
Oh, see, I'm better with that kind of stuff than Matthew Dean is. Like he is useful in a lot of different ways, but that is not one of them. But when I was newly single after my divorce, not from Matthew, obviously, I went to a local store to get a screwdriver because I was going to hang some curtains, and I didn't have a screwdriver. Like my ex-husband got all the tools, and so I'd gone around the store and I'd like picked out like 3 different screwdrivers, and I went up to the counter. Have you heard the story?
No.
And the man behind the counter says, "Now what are you going to do with these?" And I said, "I'm going to hang some curtains." He goes, "This is what I think you need." And he, like, from the counter where there's like a display of screwdrivers, he picks up this one that has a floral handle, and it has like the things that like the 4 that you rotate or whatever. He goes, "I think this is what you need."
Like, no, I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall for that.
Well, here's the thing. I was really pissed off about it, but he was also like 95 years old.
Yeah.
And I was so frustrated and flustered that I was like, fine.
Yeah.
Sell me this $5 screwdriver. I was about to spend $50, and he talked me into spending $5. So it was a loss for the store.
Yeah. Ooh.
And
was this a Craftco?
Yes.
I knew it. You know,
I wasn't going to say that, but and I love Craftco. No. I mean, I go in there and it's like a treasure hunt, and you definitely need somebody to help you.
But they know where everything is there.
They do. Here's the thing. I still use that screwdriver to the day. Like, I know where it is. It is very, very handy to have. It did not help me hang those motherfucking curtains.
You needed a drill.
I needed a drill, and I ultimately got like a really nice battery powered drill. We still use it. It's still in there, and so that's what he should have sold me. He should have sold me from the $50 screwdrivers up to like the $200 drill. But instead, he was like, "Here's what you need, little lady, is this flowered handle screwdriver," which I still use, but just not for that purpose. Yeah. It was real irritating, and I was young, Today, different reaction.
Anybody should have, they should have, honestly, immediately said, a screwdriver, you're not going to be able to get the screw into the wall.
Yeah.
Especially if you hit a stud without drilling. I know this. And not just because my husband did it.
Yeah. And it was going into a plaster wall, which is a whole separate situation.
Yes. That's a bitch.
But let me just tell you something. Guess who hung those curtains? And they were up in this house until we did remodel.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's something to be said about, there's a lot of things that I know I can do, but I have to kind of wait till Matt leaves.
Yeah.
Because he'll try to take that joy away. I'm just kidding. Not the joy, but it's just like I can do it instantly.
Yeah.
Where if he was to do something for me, it will turn into, well, we need to prep the wall here, and I should probably like
because he does it like 100% right.
Oh yeah,
like and you do it so that like it gets done.
Yeah, I want to see the instant. I love instant gratification.
Yeah,
and that is the thing with me. I love that.
And
I'm not patient when it's not that I don't do things correctly. It's that I have the focus on what I'm wanting, and I want it done. I don't care how it gets done.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, I'm the same way.
You know,
I'm the exact same way.
And this year has been my gift from wherever has been laid upon me is patience. And Matt may not say that, but
you found patience this year. That's what you're saying.
No, well,
no, you have patience. Sorry.
If you were to think of me, you probably are like, man, you've been real patient with this shit. Because my mom says that. Because I have been very patient, but what else am I going to do?
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I'm like, it's going to be done right, what we're doing.
Yeah.
But right now sucks because everything that I'm getting for the house is on freaking back order.
Oh, like, I've heard a lot of people say that. Like, everything's just taking a really long time because of COVID, like, things shut down or they're short-staffed or they have to, like, rotate staff in or whatever. So, yeah.
So, everything's taking a long time. And let's see, like 2 months ago, I ordered samples from a couple of companies for tile just in my entryway. And I got the company sent the tiles. I picked the one tile that's on back order.
Of course. Yeah.
And so then, therefore, I didn't want to wait. And I waited 3 or 4 weeks searching for another company where I couldn't find. And instead, I should have just gotten myself on the list. And now I'm a little further. But anyway, I ended up going with the first thing because I felt like I have to kind of, I'm getting better with age of like saying, okay, look, think about this. Is this really your first choice?
Yeah.
Always go with your first choice, I think. When you're thinking of like any kind of design.
Yeah, don't let somebody talk you out of it. You know, like, I mean, I'm with you on that.
Even with clothes,
I'm with you on that, yeah.
I feel like if you're going, unless you just want someone to tell you what to put on. I feel like I always have an idea of a vision of a style that I'm going for, and I know what I want. In a store, I like for help to be asked, and I'll let you know if I need the help, but I don't want to be ignored.
Yeah.
But same thing with any supply store. I feel like if I know the project, countertops, I have it in my head, I know what I want. Don't get sidetracked.
Yeah. Don't show me all this other crap.
That leads to a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
That can change every design, and you end up spending more money because you end up liking your first choice.
Yeah, exactly.
And you live with it for a second, and then you end up changing it again.
Okay, so I'm gonna change the subject.
No, that's fine because it's a rabbit hole.
No. Well, you said something about clothes and like outfits. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you a story of something that happened to me today.
Okay.
So, I got a call. Okay, so Matthew works part-time. He works like one night a week at a liquor store in our neighborhood. Okay.
Which is very convenient.
It is very convenient. All right, so especially for our podcast recording, like that's where he is tonight. So he works there one night a week, and the owner of the liquor store called me today because I do help him with some social media, but he called me for another reason. He said, Emily, I just got a call from the cleaners down the street, like dry cleaners, and they asked if Matthew was here. And he's like, I never know if you know what somebody's calling about, but of course Matthew wasn't here. And they said, do you know if his wife's name is Emily? And Scott was like, yes, I know for a fact his wife's name is Emily, because I'd actually been texting with Scott right then. And he said, well, we've got clothes here for Emily that have been here since 2019. So can you tell Matthew next time he comes in to tell his wife
it's like it'll be like Christmas.
to cut for Emily to come get her clothes. And I was like, first of all, I have no clue.
It is going to be Christmas, girl.
It's obviously something I don't need, but here's the thing.
Too bad it wasn't like when did you get rid of all, like 7 years ago?
When I got rid of what?
All those awesome clothes you bought?
Well, I got rid of, well, first of all, I outgrew them. Okay, so if they are those clothes, then that's real sad because I'm not going to be able to wear them. But this isn't the first time I've left clothes there that long. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's nice that they call.
Second, hold on. The story keeps going. Okay, so then, first of all, that's not the first time I've kept clothes there that long. Second, I've used 3 different last names during the duration of working, like taking clothes to this dry cleaner. So every time I go in there, which is obviously not very frequently these days, I never know what last name they have me under. So they have to I'm like, can you look under Dean? Can you look under Reeves? And then you look under my my first married last name. And I'm like, I mean, it's like a scavenger hunt. So there's a chance that I went in to get them and they couldn't find them. Okay, here's the third thing. About maybe this time last year, I got a call from my father-in-law who said that one of his friends was at the dry cleaners. It's Levinson's dry cleaners. One of his friends was at the dry cleaners, a woman, and she saw my name in the little thing with a really long past date. And so she called my father-in-law and said, Emily's clothes are at the dry cleaner. Then he called me. I don't think I ever went to get them. So I think these are the same clothes.
Oh my God. Okay, so I like that place so much.
Oh, I love it. I mean, how did they even how did they connect me to Matthew Dean and track that down? I have no, but it probably has something to do with his dad, who knows.
So
it's just
I will say that place is so old school, okay? So if you've ever in your growing up town had old school cleaners, we did in Pine Bluff, it was Welch's. And they would deliver and they would do all the things. And it reminds me so much of there. But when I do take it, they don't give you a ticket. So if you don't get a ticket, I'm sorry, you can easily, I have to immediately, right then. And since they don't give you a ticket, you're like, well, what happens if you happen to lose it? You don't even, you know what I mean? Not that they're going to. No. They're awesome. And they're great. But I'm just saying, I have to get in my car and immediately put it into my phone to say when to get it. Or I make my own ticket. And I put it in my car. Yeah. Like a sticky note that says cleaners.
Yeah, I mean, clearly that's why I've left. I mean, I kid you not, like, it's almost like I use them as my second closet. For a while, like, when I was taking clothes to the dry cleaners regularly, it was like, I mean, it would go 6, 8, 10, 12 months. Can you imagine
what they have left? Like, I wonder in a year, like how much is left there, and can we go sort through it?
Well, I mean, clearly they do everything they can to find the person, because how they figured out Emily Dean, Matthew Dean works at the liquor store, call the liquor store, that's
pretty cool.
I mean, like, I really am curious as to the backstory on that, and I'm sure, I mean, who knows? My husband knows everybody. Yeah, I mean, he's like super personable. He's the exact opposite of me.
He's from here. He knows everybody.
Yeah.
But that's a pretty freaking badass.
It's a good story.
Yeah,
I'm like, and I was like, I really need to go get those clothes, but now I'm kind of scared. Like,
but have you ever heard
how much is it going to cost me to get my clothes out of Hawk?
It's like you've been in a storage shed, like a rental store. I clearly don't need them. Yeah. No, you should go see what it is. I mean, I'm so curious.
What if I go and I'm like, I don't need these anymore. You can keep, which I would never do because I clearly owe them money.
I want to see what it is. If you don't want it, let me see first.
I mean, I can't even fathom what it. I mean, I can't even begin to think of what it is.
So, have you ever seen or heard where, like, airports will have left luggage that was not ever picked up? Mm-mm. And they, I've just seen this on TV. I've never actually seen it in person. But so, after a certain point, they will auction off or sell the unwanted luggage by the suitcase. So,
kind of like Storage Wars?
Yes. And there might actually be there possibly was a show, and I might have watched maybe something. I know this from that. But, and I think people do go like they would in Storage Wars, and you don't know. Like, you could get some, like, fancy smancy, like, oh, she bought some Louis Vuittons, and she didn't pick her thing up. She might have croaked on the way home or something. I mean, who knows? Or it got lost, and then she got the insurance claim or something.
Oh, yeah.
Who knows? But it'd be pretty...
That would be pretty cool.
But to see what a cleaners has at the end.
I'm sure.
Because I'm sure they can't. I mean,
they can't store that stuff forever.
Yeah, I don't have room in my place for extra stuff. So
Yeah.
I can't imagine when you're trying to actually do, and they don't get paid until they pick
Until
it
I pick it up. I know, which makes me think that I have a lot there. But honestly, I don't know what it would be. Like, I don't wear, I mean, okay,
when you
let's
go,
talk about this. Like, I'm wearing leggings and a sweatshirt right now. I'm also, like, sweating.
Where's your
Because
fan?
I think I got a little nervous, like, telling that story on myself. But I also really wanted to wear the sweatshirt today.
Can you please, when you go pick it up, take a picture of it and let's post it, and then also like pick it up and take a picture so we can show.
Okay.
Because the man, I've only dealt with the man. Honestly, I don't get a lot of things dry cleaned anymore.
I don't either.
I
mean, I'm at the point now where I wonder if I have any coats there. That might be what it is.
Yeah, I've gotten coats cleaned. And I bought this really cool vintage leather jacket there.
Mm-hmm.
Not there, I'm sorry. At an estate sale. And it's so cool. It's like kind of a bone color. And it's got like these really cool, it's like a trench.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it needed to be clean. So I took it there. That was a whole ordeal about cleaning leather. And I have never worn it. I mean, I think I'm going to give it to Aaron.
I look, like before I buy clothes, I look at the cleaning instructions now. Because if it's dry clean, I probably won't buy it at this point because of this particular situation.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I am fine to hang dry. Obviously, poor Amy comes into my house several times a week, and I'm like, I really don't have laundry hanging around all the time, just a couple of days a week, and it happens to be the days that you come.
Listen, I mean, yeah, I hang dry a lot of stuff. I wonder if that's something that, like, more people do. Like, well, now, I never thought about COVID affecting cleaners.
Now I know Levinson's, because I drive by it when I do get out of the house. They've had signs out that say like dry cleaning kills germs. You know?
Oh yeah, because you think about it, all the people that are working from home, they're not having to dress business.
Right.
Go support your cleaners. Maybe I should get a bunch of stuff out.
I actually heard people talk about like, I'm still taking my shirts to the cleaners, even though like like I'm finding stuff just to try to help and support.
Because you know,
which now makes me think I really need to go get those clothes. Jesus,
you know what?
God, I'm a terrible person. I am so sorry.
But you're gonna pay them. Every time Matt and I need to go somewhere, which obviously isn't very often, and this is literally this is how things go. Okay, I'll be ready. Obviously. And Matt will go, come help me find something to wear. And I walk in the closet and I pick a shirt. And he's like, you're just picking that because you're ready to go. And I'm like, no, I chose this because I like the shirt. And then it goes into this whole every freaking time. And then it goes into this whole then I'll pick something else. And then he's like, well, it's too wrinkled. And I think I literally might go take all of his shirts, go have them pressed. And so,
oh yeah, that's a great idea.
Like that way, they're ready to go. We don't have to wait.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
I mean, because I told you guys before that I don't iron.
I don't iron either. Matthew Dean does. But
it's a steam. It's because I never learned how to iron correctly.
I've learned how to iron. I'm just not.
I'm not good at it.
Patience for it. I mean, like
No,
it's just not.
Because typically when I decide what I'm going to wear, it's kind of like, okay, well, I'm in a hurry.
Yeah.
So I don't have time to, especially a button down and go around the buttons and make sure my collar, all that stuff.
I know.
So,
you know who's really good at ironing is our friend Shannon.
Yes, she is. She has ironed something for me when we've been on a trip together.
She is good at it. She loves to do it. Yeah. And she's like...
Matt is actually a good ironer. It's just that we don't do it. Mm-hmm. And I keep that steamer plugged in, or not plugged in. I keep it in a closet.
Like on the ready?
Yeah, it's ready to go. And it's just like wham, bam. It heats up so fast. And it's...
Okay, so can we talk about my sweatshirt?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes, sweatshirt.
So, my sweatshirt says Biden-Harris 2020.
It's very,
but it's
light.
very subtle.
Yeah.
Okay. So, it's by this girl in Austin named Chantel, who is her company's called Reed Receipts, READ Receipts.
Okay.
And she does all of this embroidery by hand. Okay,
no way.
Well, not by hand, but I mean, she she does them to order.
Okay.
So, I mean, she has a machine.
Okay, I was
Sorry,
like,
she has a machine.
She got that straight.
But it's not, but she she pulls the sweatshirt off and puts it in her machine.
Yeah.
And makes it, and then wraps it up, writes a handwritten note. It's packaged. I mean, and y'all, she's got a huge national following, and
that's amazing.
And she's doing everything that you order from her. she sends a percentage like to donate to something. Like, so this one went to like the Biden-Harris campaign. She sent a percentage of it, but like they go to different things. And so I've bought a few things from her. And it is
what other, like all political or okay?
I mean, there's a lot political, but there's not. But it's not like after the first debate, she did a T-shirt that said, "Will you shut up, man?" But she's also done, like, I have a T-shirt that says isolate and create, you know, because it was kind of during COVID and all that kind of stuff. She does custom stuff. Anyway, I just love it.
We should have her do our like a conversation.
Oh, she probably would. And like one of the shirts I ordered was out of stock, and she emailed me. It was like from her. Like, I mean, this is not. I thought for sure like she was like a big thing. No, it's her. She emailed me and she's like, my gold thread is just not really working on this shirt, so I'm gonna refund your money.
Gold thread.
She's like, I'm gonna refund your money, but you pick out another shirt that you want or whatever. And I was like, I just would do a trade, but no, she just gave me the other shirt for free and refunded my money. And I was like.
Okay,
read receipts. You should follow her on Instagram and she's, you know, Southern, and I just really love everything that she's doing.
A thank you note when you make an order, okay?
Yeah. Oh, it was handwritten. I mean, I was especially blown away.
And when you are expecting, there's so much online purchasing, and you know, Amazon's not going to write you a thank you note. So, the fact that this person, took the time to write a note, and I am no writer, she's a writer, but I think it did not hit me until COVID. The fact, well, actually, I've always ordered brushes. We carry this brush called Spornet, it's the brand, and I love them. And even before this, when the first time I ever ordered from them, I get a handwritten note, and it makes me happy. It makes me want to do business with them.
You know what we need to do is both of us separately need to start writing thank you notes to every guest we have on this show.
Yes, we should.
I'm going to have y'all hold us accountable. We should do that. Because
I know.
We both have stationery. Like, we both really appreciate notes. And I bet that the people, because it takes time. It takes time and effort to, like, come and do this. And we really appreciate it. And so we should start doing that.
We totally should. But, I mean, okay, so I love my stationery. And, you know, I was writing a letter the other day, and I'm kind of mad because I wasted a stationery, but I had forgotten the letter, and I had all these returns I needed to do to UPS and the postal service, and I had to mail a letter and a little package, a sympathy package to somebody special, and I used my stationery, and I was so proud of myself for writing this note, but then I ended up buying a card and doing it in the car because I just could not. Yesterday was so insane that if I went home.
I know, sometimes just getting your shit together.
Yeah, it's like if you make that one, like you've got your list. I make a list every Monday of things I have to do. And if I side note to go home and I forgot something, then it's screwed all day.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, so Emily and I could go on forever. That's what's so fun about when we get together and talk, because it's like we catch up, but we could go on a tirant about, is that a word?
Tyrant.
Is it tyrant?
Yeah. Well, tirade.
Tirade?
I think tirade is right.
Tirade?
Tirade. Tirade.
Okay.
Do you know that I read this? See, this is what's going to happen is we're going to get cyber. But I read this thing that people that read a lot mispronounce words a lot. And that's because they don't hear them. They read them. And so then they, like, you know, think that that's how they're pronounced. And then
people that don't read.
Well, but people that, you know, some people are more, you know, like, like they just speak more, and some people read. I'm a reader, so I think that I probably mispronounce words all the time, and I think people probably don't correct me, but they should. And like I try to look it up, you know, if I'm not sure, but like when I read it, like I know what it means, but then I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, it's sometimes
or like I'll hear a word, I'm like, I don't know what that word is, and then I see it written, I'm like, oh, I know exactly what that word is.
We have totally gone to the Google for pronunciation on here before.
Oh yeah,
and
then we promptly forget.
Yeah, I know. Jesus. But I will be the first person, like, especially if I'm saying something to somebody, I'll be like, is that how you say that? I mean, because you know what you're trying to say. I mean, we could go on with this, so we're going to end it.
This tangents. Okay, all right. So let's wrap up. And that was a good conversation.
Yeah, it was a great conversation, and I did like the cocktail.
I did too.
It was I didn't finish, but which is good because I'm about to down it.
I love things in a champagne glass too.
I do too. Champagne glasses.
Coupe glasses,
and the sexy red wine glasses.
Yeah, the really tall Scandal wine glasses. Yeah. So apparently, our hearts are with glasses.
You know, though, when I pull out stem at home, and at home typically if I'm just by myself, I might drink out of stemless. Mm-hmm. But sometimes I'll I want to feel fancy and put my pinky up, and I break them.
That happens here too. That happens
in
here
the
too.
sink.
I mean, to the point where I now have and you've asked me before, you've seen me do it. Like I have a metal wine cup, and you're like, why are you drinking out of that cup? Like before we started doing the podcast, like that's just what I would always drink. And you're like, why are you drinking out of that? I'm like,
I can't
because I won't break it. I won't knock it over.
I have to drink out of glass. Like I can't drink out. I have plastic outdoor wine glasses. I just can't do. I'll do it, but I just. Anyway.
I mean, it's a wine glass. It's like it's a hydro flask. Anyway. All right.
Love you, mean it. Bye.